We've got to go through. We've got to rank the best quarterbacks, the best tight ends, the best defenses for Week 7 to win you your matchups. Rest of season rankings, weekly rankings, we got it covered. We got everything listed here. Now, looking at quarterbacks first, we'll hop into tight ends next. Quarterbacks, it is a big week where we have that's right, zero, zilch, none, nada, and whatever you want to call it. No S tier quarterbacks. Why? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, they have not been deceased. They are on bye week, both of them, which actually it's good for Lamar because of his injury. Josh Allen gets the bye week. He'll come back in week 8. They'll both be in S tier. Jaden Daniels could potentially be in S tier. I haven't seen Sunday Night Football yet while I'm making this video, so there's still a couple of games that are still up in the air. Pat Mahomes is one of them, right? So Daniels, Mahomes, these guys are putting towards the upper echelon. Hurts hasn't looked good passing the football. You know, the noise is loud for him, but he had the rushing touchdown with the tush push, so he still remains, a decent floor type option. Bo Nix does not deserve to be up here. Baker Mayfield might not even deserve to be up here. And this is where things get interesting. Where do you put Drake May? I think you put Drake May up here ahead of Bo Nix the way that Drake May has been playing. Checking out Flock Fantasy, a free tool you guys can go check out. Drake May, 27, 20, 23, 27. Outside 2 games, this guy's been elite. He's been getting it down through the air and through the ground, taking on the Tennessee Titans, a Mike Vrabel revenge game. I actually like Drake May where he is. Now, the question I do have is, where do you put Baker Mayfield? Rest of season, I like Baker where he is. A lot of wide receiver injuries, but Baker Mayfield has been giving you about 20 points on average regardless and averaging 2 passing touchdowns per game. But I think it is a safe play versus the Lions where they're going to have to air it out. Now, the Lions have a tough defense, but I think that, between Baker and May, I'm probably starting Baker for the floor, May for the upside. But either of these guys are starting options, though. I also do think Bo Nix should be in your lineup. With that said, it is kind of getting grimmer and grimmer as the weeks go on. Fields should not be this high. I think I'm a bit harsh on Caleb Williams. Kyler Murray's injured. Who knows if he's back? So, Jacoby Brissett is not even rankable. Dak Prescott. I'd rather have Dak than Bo Nix. Prescott is throwing 3 passing touchdowns per game, and the Cowboys take on the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. We're going to have to air outside Jeremy World. I think Dak is a good streaming, he's not even streaming, good quarterback option. And Jackson Dart's a big riser all the way up here next to Drake May. I actually think Dart could be ahead of Prescott if not for some tougher matchups for the kid. Tougher matchups? How about the toughest matchup? Jackson Dart takes on the Broncos in Mile High. Tough matchup, but the rushing upside is there. Yeah, rushing touchdown and 60 rushing yards in his last 3 games. Not necessarily the touchdown, but he's had 60 rushing yards, and in week 6 had the rushing touchdown against the Eagles, and he looked really, really good. So Dart is a decent streaming option. Very tough matchup, but rest of season bumps him up to B tier. Weekly would probably be somewhere in the C range. Jordan Love, Herbert, Goff, The rest of these guys, this is where things start getting grim, right? So the top 2 options are out. This is where people really start to ask, who do I stream in week 7? You have Fields taking on the Panthers. I think he might bounce back. If he gets dropped to waivers, you can stream him. Jordan Love and the Packers, I don't really trust Jordan Love's upside. They take on the Arizona Cardinals. Love has had 25, 33, 18, and those are 6-point passing touchdowns. He's still averaging almost 2 passing touchdowns per game throughout the season, so Love is still streamable. The Detroit Lions and Jared Goff, I guess you could start. It's basically just how many passing touchdowns you can get through. Now, the best streaming options are actually, one of them is this guy right here. Sam Darnold and JSN. I think he's a good streaming option moving forward. Somebody that's not here, that would be here in B tier, is Indiana Jones. Da-na-na-da. I'm putting Indiana Jones ahead of Dak Prescott. I'll do it, man. The Colts have a tough matchup. Very tough matchup for the Indianapolis Colts this week. And I think Indiana Jones is poised for some success. And he's honestly poised for a good floor. Now, Goff takes on the Bucs, so I think Goff is a better streaming option, honestly. So I think those rankings right there are the way that it should be. Herbert takes on the Colts. Indiana Jones is going to have to try real hard versus the Chargers. Indiana Jones would be up here ahead of Dak Prescott. And then once you get to E tier and below, it's not really that relevant. Trevor's looked all right. Bryce Young has looked all right, but I'm still not ready rest of the season to bump him up just higher in these rankings. So I think that's good for where we are now and the effort we want to put into this list. Once you get past D tier, you're at, QB 7, QB 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're at QB 17. Try harder, get some better depth pieces. But I think those should help you out for who to start this week. We'll head to tight end next. Looking at the tight ends, we've been doing pretty dang good. Now, Bowers has been banged up. This guy cannot be trusted at all. You know, who knows if this guy's even going to be healthy. Now, this list is actually an outdated list, so it's not what we had in week 6. But Ferguson, we have had in S tier. We had McBride in S tier. We had Warren in S tier. And this is not changing. Even though Ferguson only had 3 targets in week number 6, he did bring in a touchdown. So I'm actually going to leave Ferguson where he is because Dak has been slinging that thing. Sam Laporta, you know, he's kind of boomer bust, but I think he's fairly ranked. Tucker Kraft, similar story to Ferguson. Bad targets, but he brought on the touchdown to save his day. I don't mind having him where he is. Travis Kelce has to be higher. I think somebody that also has to be higher on this list is going to be Harold Fannin. And Njoku keeps getting banged up. Fannin, we don't even have the graphic for it. It's my bad. But Harold Fannin would be up here, right in this B tier. Juwan Johnson has to fall. Juwan Johnson is debatably droppable at this point. But Fannin has to be somebody you consider starting. Another graphic we don't have is Oronde Gadsden. Oronde Gadsden will be down here in C tier. I like Pitts where he is. I like Ertz where he is, even after, you know, some disappointing performances. Hunter Henry, I kind of like where he is. And Njoku, injured. You know, he's got a Fannin has to be ahead of him now. I don't trust Njoku, not nearly as much. But if he is healthy, you know, Dylan Gabriel is still looking for some short, big body guys that can get a lot of target volume, especially in the red zone. Goddard, when healthy, should be in your lineup, it seems like. So I'm actually going to bump Goddard up to the top of C tier. George Kittle might be back this week, and when Kittle's back, Kittle is an S tier option. Honestly, I think Kittle might take the cream of the crop and be my number 1 option here for fantasy. Darren Waller, also not on this list, takes on the Cleveland Browns. Tough matchup. Darren Waller has been averaging 4 targets a game, but he's had a touchdown every single game he's played. It feels like a balloon ready to pop, but I'd be, you know, getting some hate if I didn't rank him good. So give me the hate. I'm putting Darren Waller behind Kyle Pitts down here in C tier. People are not going to like that one, are they? Mason Taylor, not even deserving of a rank. Throw him down here in D tier in the land of the irrelevance. Evan Ingram. Okay, he did enough. Evan Ingram did do enough to warrant some love. We'll bump Evan Ingram up 1 tier. He's been having some decent target volume. And really beyond that, nothing crazy I believe we should mention. We're going to head to defenses next. Taking a look at the defenses, number 1 is Denver. Like we already talked about, you got a rookie quarterback coming to Bronco country, the high altitude. It's not looking good, man. I'm putting the Broncos in S tier. Patriots, Mike Vrabel revenge game versus the Titans. Expect no mercy. The Patriots are an S tier defense for me. The Bengals take on the Steelers, and the Steelers defense has been playing better. We'll put them up here in A tier. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the Las Vegas Raiders. That's a pretty good matchup. Divisional matchup. Chiefs defense has been elite, and the Raiders offense hasn't looked great. Throw them up there. Eagles take on the Vikings. Can you trust the Eagles defense? Maybe not. We'll put them there. Packers take on the Cardinals and Jacoby Brissett. Packers defense has been elite almost all season long. Packers A tier option for me. The Seattle Seahawks have been a good defense. They take on the Texans with the worst offensive line in the league. The Seahawks are also an A tier option. The Bears take on the Saints. Okay, it's decent. The Browns take on the Dolphins. I mean, it's decent. We'll put up Browns a little bit higher. I think that's good for what we have right there. The Jets take on the Panthers. Panthers actually look good, and the Jets are going to turn the ball over. I don't love that. Dolphins take on the Browns. The Chargers take on the Colts. Dolphins versus the Browns, like, I guess it's okay. Not really excited about that matchup, though. That's 10 defenses, so you still need 2 more defenses. The matchups this week, honestly, are not super appealing. You have the 49ers taking on the Falcons. I think maybe that's like a bottom tier matchup you can potentially target. Can you trust the Bengals versus the Steelers? I wouldn't, not the way Aaron Rodgers has been slaying it. So maybe you do have to go with the Panthers over the Jets. I think the Jets offense has looked so bad that you can't actually trust Carolina. And this is going to be my top 12 defenses for the week. And that's the video. Thanks for watching the rankings throughout the week. See you boys next week.